Now on a special edition of KGW News, day 2 of a weather impact alert with a weekend full of events in the middle of severe heat.
We just want to make sure that we are helping people stay safe and hydrated and having fun today.
Plus, thousands battled the heat for the mother of all relays.
We all made it through. Nobody passed out, so we were good.
And neighbors in Hillsboro rallying around a family that lost almost everything in a fire.
They just hold each other a little closer and they say, what can we do?
Thanks so much for joining us on this special edition of KGW News. For the second day in a row, we've seen temperatures soar around 100 degrees through the metro area, and it's not over yet. But that didn't stop people from coming out to the state fair, which kicked off on Friday. Organizers set up water fountains and misting stations to help people stay cool and hydrated.
Don't be afraid. There's plenty of water filling stations. There's shaved ice. There's all sorts of shade. Come out. You need a good salt, like a good sea salt, a good electrolyte, and if you start feeling warm, get into one of the nice, cool buildings.
Yeah, looked like a nice snow cone there, Joe. Meteorologist Joe Neary is here to let us know how hot it got today and when we can see some cooler temperatures return to the area.
Hey, John, you have all the snow cones you want. I'll have all those chicken legs. I want those legs look pretty good. Maybe I have an excuse to go down to Salem on my weekend. But the forecast was a couple degrees cooler from what we saw yesterday. But regardless, some people still saw temperatures right around 100 degrees and record heat. That was the case in parts of Hillsboro and Vancouver as well. Downtown Portland right now, temperature of 91 degrees. Now, I think we would have eclipsed 100 degrees this afternoon had it not been from some of those high clouds that rolled through. And now we're starting to pick up a little bit of some smoke and haze from some of those wildfires that are burning over in Central Oregon. Highs today, Hillsboro, McMinnville, 100 degrees, 101 actually in Hillsboro. Now, along the Oregon coast, we got into the mid 80s, just a little bit cooler over in Tillamook, but still a nice temperature of 77 degrees. We still have some watches and warnings while we're under this extreme weather event with the extreme heat warning, that red color that's in place until Tuesday night. We also have that heat advisory throughout parts of the Coast Range for the rest of the weekend as well. And this weather impact alert is going to be in effect for tomorrow and into Monday. We're going to kind of peel back a little bit the heat by Tuesday. It's going to be just a little bit cooler. Even on Monday, temperatures will be right around the mid 90s, but still looking at the chance to see some potential for record-breaking temperatures tomorrow. We've been telling you the last couple of days to get plenty of water. So tomorrow morning, we'll be looking at temperatures in the low 70s. Overnight lows were in the mid 60s earlier this morning. By tomorrow afternoon, though, you're going to be seeing temperatures climbing into the upper 90s. And here's a look at that 3-day forecast, John. Tomorrow, high of 98, a little bit cooler for Monday, and then much cooler heading into Tuesday, if you want to call 92 Tuesday or cool. But now we're looking at some big changes by the later part of next week, just in time for Labor Day weekend. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. We'll see you later in the show. In Beaverton, several events adjusting to better deal with the heat today, including a youth football jamboree that had to change the times of their games. Jake Holter brings us more from Sunset High.
So these games were moved up 4 hours from noon to 8 in the morning to avoid having the kids play in triple-digit heat. Sunset Youth Football's Tackle Jamboree starting much earlier than normal Saturday in order to finish before temperatures got too high.
So earlier in the week, we were looking at the weather, realized it was going to be a real warm day. We decided that we needed to compress the schedule, move it earlier in the morning.
Sunset Youth Football President Charles Carter says extra precautions are always taken when it gets hot, but this is the first time the Jamboree schedule has had to be changed.
Anytime it's in the mid-90s or above, we have to monitor that and make sure that the kids are safe. Ample breaks, more water time, anything we can do to avoid any kind of heat issues.
The coaches are really looking out for the safety of the boys.
Football parent John England glad the game started earlier.
It makes things cooler, safer for the kids to be playing the sports out here. No reason to take any unnecessary risks.
And that goes for the cheerleaders too, with their start time moved up from 1 to 10.
It was a little bit of a no-brainer for us. We want the kids to be healthy and happy, and moving it forward 3 hours was really no huge deal.
Across town, people at the Beaverton Music Festival also trying to beat the heat. From performers on stage.
You have a fan in front of you to kind of keep the cool air moving, and a little bit of water.
To chefs cooking on the grill.
You know, when it gets too hot, we try to switch off. Hey, you do this roll, we'll do this roll. Take a little break here. Drink a lot of water, cold water.
Everyone is trying to stay cool. A local church even handing out free water and ice cream.
We just want to make sure that we are helping people stay safe and hydrated and having fun today.
Event organizer Florian Raqueño says if temperatures are forecasted to be 95 and above, the misters come out.
We bring those out whenever we need to, for sure. That is something that's so important just to help people stay cool.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
And we have a list of those resources on KGW.com. You can just text the word heat to the number you see there on the screen, 503-226-5088. And we'll text you back with a link to that list and other helpful information. Well, it was all smiles in Seaside earlier today as runners fought through sweltering conditions to finish the 43rd Hood to Coast. We were there as teams crossed the finish line.
3, 2, 1, away they go!
What started near Timberline Lodge on Mount Hood early Friday ended in Seaside on Saturday. The nearly 200 miles in between, a battle against oppressive heat.
It was hot, but we did awesome.
It was kind of a grind with the heat, but we all made it, and everybody is injury-free, and so we're thankful for that.
The teams, made up of 8 to 12 runners, fought record-breaking temperatures in some spots along the route on Friday. The late August heat wave making the already difficult relay even tougher.
It's really hot. Yes, blazing.
I have sweat dripping down my butt crack right now. I'm getting ready to start my first leg.
Hood to Coast organizers provided plenty of water and had roving medical responders throughout the route due to the extreme heat. But once they crossed the finish line,
and enjoy the celebration and the achievement that you have done together.
Runners were able to reflect on a Hood to Coast that will surely be remembered.
It was great. The weather was super intense, but we all made it through. Nobody passed out, so we were good.
Here we are on the beach, and so it was a pretty great PTC this year.
Multnomah County officials say 6 runners were hospitalized with heat-related symptoms. Stick with KGW throughout the weekend for updates on the extreme heat and our weather impact alert. And you can watch the latest forecast anytime on KGW.com or our free TV app, KGW Plus. Well, the ongoing heat wave is part of what's giving firefighters trouble in getting the flat fire under control. Officials say the wildfire, which started burning Thursday in Jefferson County, has grown to about 18,000 acres. Crews worked overnight to protect homes and critical infrastructure. The state fire marshal's office says the initial response brought local, state, and federal agencies on scene. There are level 3 go now evacuation notices in both Deschutes and Jefferson counties. The Highland Baptist Church in Redmond is serving as a temporary evacuation point at this time. Well, there are new developments in the search for Travis Decker, the man accused of killing his 3 young daughters in central Washington. Tomorrow, the FBI will close the Rock Island campground near Leavenworth. Jim Nelson spoke to a law enforcement expert who believes this could be a sign of new evidence.
The bodies of Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker were found May 30th in a remote area west of Leavenworth.
So the question now is, what came up all of a sudden after several months that they're up there looking for evidence? And that's what we really don't know.
King 5 law enforcement analyst and former King County Sheriff John Urquhart can only lean on his decades of experience in trying to figure out why the FBI is abruptly shutting down the Rock Island campground and trails just a short distance from where the bodies were found. The plan is to keep the area closed between Sunday and Wednesday.
What that tells me is they know what they're looking for, or they have a good idea of where it is, and they can go in there, they can go to the area, they can get what they hope to find, maybe they will, maybe they won't, and get back out again.
Investigators say the girls' dad, Travis Decker, took them in Wenatchee before he killed them. He hasn't been seen since, but Urquhart does not believe the latest development is related to any sightings.
If they thought he was in the area, they're not going to announce that they're going in over the weekend, and they're not going to leave people up there. They'll be up there cleaning them out right now. So that really only leaves some sort of an evidentiary search.
An update today on a house fire in northwest Portland that happened on Friday. Portland's police say they've arrested a 15-year-old boy on attempted murder and arson charges. Police say the boy was damaging his family's home with a hammer and refused to cooperate with officers. As they were about to leave, the boy left the home as the garage caught fire. After following the boy for about an hour, he gave himself up and was taken into custody peacefully. Vancouver police are asking for you to keep an eye out for a missing woman. Police say Nikki Coker went missing under suspicious circumstances and was last known to be with her estranged boyfriend, Israel Gonzalez. Here's a photo of Gonzalez. Detectives with the domestic violence unit are investigating. If you see either one of them, call 911.
The house is very badly damaged. One of those things that I never thought I would see is the inside of a mostly burnt down house. It's a really tragic thing to see.
Neighbors of a Hillsborough family are asking for help after a deadly house fire. It happened last Saturday early in the morning. Neighbors tell us the two people rescued from the fire were the homeowner and his father. The father died in the hospital. The damage to the home is so bad, the homeowner, who is bedbound, lost nearly everything and has to stay in a hotel. We also spoke to someone who lives next to the family and set up a GoFundMe to help them out.
So people have stopped by and said, what can we do? How can we help? The community, within days, we had one day I was out talking to some neighbors and I counted 45 cars driving by. Which is more than we've had on the street in 2 years.
The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Expect to see more police patrolling the streets this weekend. Officers are on the lookout for a possible street takeover after social media posts called on people to gather in Southeast Portland. They warn drivers who get involved in an illegal takeover could lose their car permanently. Developing this weekend, a Gresham hospital may have averted a strike. Today, the Oregon Nurses Association announced a tentative agreement between them and Legacy Mount Hood. It includes added worker protections, competitive wages, and dedicated security staffing. The union said the two parties held a marathon mediation session after more than 400 nurses voted to authorize a strike if they could not reach a deal. The agreement now goes to those nurses for a vote. Legacy Health sent us a statement earlier today which says, in part, we are pleased with this development, which reflects our continued commitment to supporting our nurses and ensuring high quality care for our patients and the communities we serve. Well, still to come tonight, a celebration today in Cornelius, the upgrade that the fire department says will keep firefighters safe while heading to possible danger. Plus, a cultural summer celebration at Portland's Japanese Garden. Visitors got to learn how to dance for the departed, and we got to check it all out. Welcome back to this special edition of KGW News. Let's take a look at your headlines. There has been a moderate drop in reported crime in the first week after the Trump administration seized control of the Washington, D.C. police force. Government data shows in the week beginning August 12th, property crimes dropped roughly 19% compared to the week before. Violent crime also dipped by about 17%. The Texas Senate approved new Republican-drawn congressional maps early this morning. Texas Governor Greg Abbott plans to sign the measure into law in the coming days. Texas Democrats have pledged to fight the maps in court. And Kilmar Abrego Garcia is back with his family following his release from federal custody on Friday. His release comes months after he was wrongly detained and deported to an El Salvadorian prison and accused of being in a gang, spending nearly half a year away from home. However, he now faces possible deportation to Uganda, according to immigration authorities. A ceremony was held in Cornelius this morning. The town's fire department unveiled their new state-of-the-art engine. Officials say the one that Engine 8 is replacing had been in service for almost 25 years. They also say the new one will allow the department to be more efficient and safe when out on calls.
Going to be more efficient, fuel economy is going to be better, the emissions coming out of it are better. It has electrical systems that are able to keep up with all the computers and hardware and radios that we have on this equipment, and we're able to tailor the compartments so that they fit the equipment we now carry, which is different than it was 20 years ago.
During the event, community members helped fire officials retire their previous engine by doing a water transfer by transferring the water from the old one into the new Engine 8. Then came the push-in ceremony. Firefighters manually pushed the truck into the station. That's a fire service tradition dating back all the way to the 1800s. Well, the heat didn't keep people from celebrating the summer festival at Portland's Japanese Garden today. Dancers from the Oregon Buddhist Temple helped demonstrate some exciting moves as the crowd took part in the traditional Bon dance, also known as the Bon Odori. In Japanese Buddhist culture, the dance celebrates the returned spirits of relatives and the importance of cherishing family.
Part of the Buddhist Obon tradition, and it's one of the ways to send off the spirit of the ancestors who have returned to this world to be united with their family for 3 days in the summertime.
Well, it sure was hot out there, but the crowd was all smiles as they learned both traditional and contemporary dances while circling the stage. The event is meant to be a joyous festival to encourage all of us to remember our dearly departed. All right, Joe, we're day 2 of the heat we're seeing here.
And it's going to be day 3 tomorrow, day 4 Monday, maybe day 4 Monday, and then we'll definitely see some cooler air finally move through. It's only been a couple days, but of course, record-breaking heat the last couple of days. At PDX, we just missed it by a couple degrees. From our Chinook Winds casino camera over in Lincoln City, look at this. These guys know how to live. They're having a nice Saturday night by the fire and looking at a gorgeous sunset along the Oregon coast. Temperature right now of 61 degrees. Now, there will be some excessive heat looking into tomorrow. The timing looks like this. You can kind of see from basically 12 about 4 in the afternoon, 5 o'clock is when we can kind of see those temperatures drop down. But again, I'm forecasting the potential for record-breaking heat for tomorrow, maybe getting close to 100 degrees. I think we'll be right around the 95, 98 degree range looking into tomorrow. And then Monday is going to be an excessive heat one too. And then as you can see by that purple color, that's Tuesday. It'll be a little bit cooler with, well, call it cooler, but we're still going to be looking at temperatures right around 92 degrees or so, maybe a little bit warmer than that, anywhere from about 90 to 95, but the weather impact alert will be canceled by Monday night. We still have some watches and warnings. Heat advisory is that orange color you see throughout the coast range. That red color you see is throughout parts of the gorge. That's the extreme heat warning that's in effect, at least throughout the gorge, until the later part of Monday night. And the fire weather warning is out there. We also have a little air stagnation advisory that's going to be kicking in. You'll probably notice some of that smoke and haze coming in from those wildfires over in Central Oregon. If we we didn't have the smoke and haze and some of those high clouds, I think we would have had a better shot of seeing record-breaking temperatures across the board earlier this afternoon. But we still have that ridge of high pressure in place. All this precipitation near the Four Corners is from a monsoonal flow. This is the time of year where we pick up a lot of thunderstorms in that part of the country, and some of those thunderstorms can carry over into our area, and that's what I'm expecting to see tomorrow afternoon. Not here in the valley, but throughout the southeast side of the state, potentially into the Mount Jefferson area. So be aware of that if you'll be spending any time over in the Central Oregon area. Downtown Portland right now, seeing a temperature of 91 degrees. And even though that smoke is in the upper levels of the atmosphere, it's very thin, but still you'll know notice where it's not thin, and that's over in Bend and Redmond and the Sisters, where that wildfire is burning. And some of that smoke and haze is definitely impacting folks in Central Oregon. Unhealthy category in parts of Madras and into Bend. Meanwhile, the west side of the state, it's the moderate category, but that could easily change with the change in the wind direction, something we're kind of monitoring. I know it's a little hazy out there, but this is our Timberline Lodge camera. I had it up before the sun started to set, but you can kind of make out some of that smoke and haze that we are seeing along the central and eastern side of the state. So that's going to be in play here the next couple of days as well. And so far this month of August, we're looking at a surplus of rain, which is good. But looking into the next couple of days, we're not going to be seeing much in terms of rainfall. Where that rain will be falling will be throughout the central and eastern side of the state. Right now, though, we're looking at temperatures very warm for your Saturday night, right around the low to the mid 80s. And day planner tomorrow, we'll be looking at temperatures in the mid to the upper 60s by the early part of the afternoon, 87 degrees, daytime high tomorrow of 98 degrees. So our weather impact will be both tomorrow and into Monday, a little bit cooler heading into Tuesday with temperatures in the low 90s. And then later part of the week, John, last week of August, there's a chance to see some much cooler conditions and a chance for some showers too.
Joe, still hard to believe we're sitting here at 8:40 in the evening, still in the 90s here in the area. All right, thank you. Well, still to come on the show, football season is nearly here, and the Seattle Seahawks had their third and final preseason game against the Green Bay Packers. Orlando's going to join us with the highlights after this. But before we go, the KGW School Supply Drive is in its home stretch, and you can make sure kids have the supplies they need by dropping off donations at any On Point Community Credit Union branch, Rick's Custom Fencing location, or one of our many community partners. Or you can donate now at kgw.com/school. Also this week, Windermere Real Estate is matching the first $5,000 donated. A big thanks to all of our partners, including On Point, Rick's Custom Fencing, and Safeway, for everything they're doing to make this year's KGW School Supply Drive a huge success. We'll be right back.
KGW Sunrise keeps you
What is good, everyone? One last dress rehearsal before the games count. The Seattle Seahawks closing out the preseason on the road against the Packers to the historic Lambeau Field. Seahawks sitting all of the starters, so the backups getting the work. Rookie QB Jalen Milroe got all the snaps, and it was a rough day for the third-round pick. Sacked 5 times, he registered 3 fumbles, leading to 10 Packers points. Milroe, though, did have his moments, including this in the fourth quarter, an 18-yard touchdown to Cody White. Milroe, 13 of 24 passing, 148 yards. Packers get the dub 20-7. Seattle ends the preseason with a win, a loss, and a tie. Head coach Mike McDonald on his rookie QB.
Keep chopping away, man. Keep building the foundation. And there's things we're going to learn from. You know, taking care of the football is probably the number one thing. And he knows that, and we'll learn from it and grow from it. But I think it was definitely worth it to get him out there and have this experience. He's definitely going to be able to build off this.
Now it's on to the games that count. The Seahawks season opener September 7th at home against the 49ers. Well, the Ducks kick off the season next week. Former Oregon QB Dylan Gabriel making his second appearance with the Cleveland Browns. He was 12 of 19 passing, 129 yards, and that TD against the Rams. Decent day of work as he battles for the backup job. Shedeur Sanders, he had a rough day, sacked 5 times, 3 of 6 passing. The Browns beat the Rams 19-17. Oh, we've made it. The college football season is here, and the Portland State Vikings getting the party started in week 0. Triple digits in Hillsboro, the hottest game in Portland State history. The Vikings kicking off the 2025 season. It's year number 11 under head coach Bruce Barnum. The Vikes playing host to 10th-ranked Tarleton State. Opening drive, PSU defense setting the tone. Spencer Elliott forces the fumble. J.Q. Ladson all over it for the recovery. But the Vikings offense couldn't cash out, and the Texans' Trey Page III got his payback, rushing for 170 yards, 2 touchdowns. Texans on top. Gabe Downing got the start at QB for the Vikes, and this was the play of the day. What a grab there by Brandon Alvarez. But the Vikes were kept out of the end zone. 4 turnovers on the day. 10th-ranked Tarleton State rolls 42-0. According to the broadcast, it's the first time since 2003 the Vikes have been shut out at home. Next up, a trip to BYU. Big-time games on the pitch. The Thorns hosting first-place Kansas City, and they now trail 2-0 in the second half at Providence Park. That first goal coming 55 seconds into the match. Meanwhile, the Portland Timbers visiting first place San Diego FC, and that game scoreless at the half. You know, we'll break it all down for you right here on KGW News at 11.
Good luck to both of them. And, you know, it didn't really feel like the start of college football season today. Very toasty out there.
Oh, yeah, we were burning up out there.
Yes. Yeah, something tells me the team from Texas may have been a little more acclimated to the
that's
extreme heat, possibly.
That's fair, man.
But it's going to be sticking around.
Yeah,
a while
weather impact alert, you guys, for tomorrow and Monday, and we'll gradually see our temperatures drop a little bit. A slight chance to see some record-breaking heat again for tomorrow, and then, yeah, we'll be looking at temperatures much cooler heading into the later part of next week.
All right, we'll see you tonight at 11.
Continue with us on KGW Plus. Download on your TV.